So, now we come to the one book that simply is so jam-packed full of plot, you can't possibly do it in a movie in less than, say, 4 hours or so. So this one they decided to split it into 2 films, like they almost had done with Goblet of Fire previously. While I agree that Goblet is best left in a single film, I don't mind so much that they split this one into 2, especially as I have slightly different opinions on the 2 halves. In this one, Harry is now 17 and is no longer having the protection that comes with living with his aunt and uncle, so he has to flee, which of course leads to a big airborne battle because the Death Eaters knew about the plan ahead of time. After holding up at Ron's house and attending Ron's brother's wedding, the Death Eaters take over the Ministry of Magic and attack the wedding party. Harry, Ron, and Hermione are forced to flee and go into hiding, where they move from place to place attempting to figure out where the remaining 4 Horcruxes are. Eventually they wind up at Sirius's old house, where they realize the person who swapped the locket Horcrux for a fake in the last film was Sirius's late brother Regulus, and managed to track the real locket from Regulus to the house elf creature to a thief named Mundungus to none other than their old bitch of a teacher, Dolores Umbridge. They have to break into the Ministry in disguise to get the Horcrux, but they can't figure out how to destroy it, though they figure out how it can be done with the Sword of Gryffindor, which Harry had used to kill the Basilisk back in Chamber of Secrets. After being captured by assholes called Snatchers and handed off to Death Eaters over at Malfoy Manor, they overhear that the sword is in Bellatrix's vault in the Wizarding Bank, and they come to believe that there may be another Horcrux there as well. So they escape and break into Gringotts to retrieve it. There's lots of other things going on as well. For example, both Harry and Voldemort have become interested in an extremely powerful wand known as the Elder Wand. Voldemort's interest is merely that it was a powerful weapon, though Harry is looking to complete a set of Deathly Hallows, which consist of a wand, a cloak, and a stone. They hear the story from Luna Lovegood's dad, who believes that uniting the 3 will make one the Master of Death, and Harry believes that Dumbledore left him coded messages to find the Hallows. Also, Snape has taken over Hogwarts and turned it into an extremely depressing place. Harry believes that the invisibility cloak passed down through his family as a Hallow, and that Dumbledore left him the stone in his will. It's just hidden inside of the golden snitch. The wand turned out to be Dumbledore's own wand, which both Harry and Voldemort trace, but Voldemort gets to it first, breaking into Dumbledore's tomb and seemingly becoming all-powerful. Through the course of the film, many major characters die, everything seems grim for the heroes, and the movie ends with Voldemort seemingly poised for total victory. You know what it kind of reminds me of? The Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, it's the dark chapter before the end of the saga, where the heroes are scattered and battered, and the villains are shoring up power and ready to just take over everything. And if you know me, you know Empire Strikes Back is my favorite Star Wars film, and it applies here too. Deathly Hallows Part 1 is easily my favorite in the series. This is a really great film. Aside from the dark plot and the downer ending, it's as wonderfully shot as the last film and has some great sequences. One particularly unique part is the tale of the 3 brothers, narrated by Hermione, which tells the story of how the Deathly Hallows came to be. It's done in a dark, animated style that suits the subject matter perfectly, and is something that hadn't been done before in the series. It was a really pleasant surprise for me. Also, some of the character moments are fantastic. For example, one of my favorite scenes is after Ron leaves the trio for a period of time. Hermione is devastated and becomes depressed, and there's a scene where Harry dances with her to cheer her up. You know, a lot of people always thought that those 2 should be a couple, but I always saw it as more of a brother-sister type relationship, and I think Yates really understood this with this scene. It's not romantic by any sense, but it's an extremely kind gesture, and I thought it fleshed the 2 of them out really well. Also, possibly the saddest moment of the entire series of books was Dobby's death, which was done extremely well on film. Basically, this is the one that literally got everything right. Even the stuff that was changed or made up for the movie, it all worked and it all clicked together. 10 out of 10 easily. But there's one more.